Hello, everyone. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So we're going to wait a couple of minutes for people to join. Whoever wants to join us live. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to start a little bit, but like I said, we're going to give it a few minutes before jumping fully in case anyone else wants to come live. By the way, I feel really weird. It's super silent with all of your mics off. Could you guys like unmute yourself for the first few minutes? Just so I hear any sounds of you guys being alive, literally.
We're alive. We're very alive.
Yeah, I was just listening to some music, like getting my energy up, and then I turn it off, and I'm getting like, this is creepy. Okay, good. So cool. Since we have you guys also like unmuted, you guys, can you tell me where are you guys tuning from? Like, where are you currently located?
I'm in Kuala Lumpur.
Oh, are you? Okay. Oh, hi. Well, I'll be talking to you later today, correct?
Yes.
Awesome, sweet. I don't know if you know, I used to live in KL. It's for almost 4 years, so it's one of my homes.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, awesome. It's been 12 years I've been living here.
12 years, okay. That is longer. Yeah. Welcome.
I'm in BC, Canada.
Who's that?
Cybold.
Oh, there you are. Okay, Canada.
Hi, Magda.
Hello.
Where are you?
I am in Bali right now.
In Bali, nice.
Yeah, so if you guys have ever been to Bali, like the look behind me, that's a very typical design for Balinese houses. That's how you can right away know, like all the curtains and everything. You can say right away, yep, this is Bali.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in Europe
Educated.
for 8 months, the whole lockdown, and I got here a month ago. When Europe was going back into the second lockdown and when they closed the gyms, this is when I was like, I've had it. If you're gonna close the gyms again, like no way I'm staying here. And I was like, okay, this is the time to like look into all the visas and move.
Good for you.
Where else are you guys from?
I'm in New York.
New York, nice.
Big Apple.
Big Apple. Sweet. Kind of sad. I spent only 2 days in New York and hardly actually visited New York. It's ridiculous. You'd think at some point it's like a city that everyone should go to, and I still have to do it.
You should. It's a beautiful city.
I would say so. I hear you guys can get really bad winters though. It can get really cold.
Very awful, but this year hasn't been too bad. We're actually going to get some snow, I think, this week, so I'm not looking forward to that.
Okay, nice. Well, thank you for tuning in from there.
Yeah, tuning in from Peru here.
Peru. How is Peru? I've never been.
It's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous.
How long have you been there?
About 7 years.
Okay, nice. Nice. Well, maybe one day I will receive a call from the jungle and I'll go there.
Come on down.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. So my loves, now I will have a request to you to mute yourself again. And we're gonna get started. Awesome. So just to make sure you guys are in the right space, we're talking about how to be a tantric lover today, and this is unique for men. So my name is Magda K, and I am conscious relating and intimacy coach. So what we'll be covering today, the content I want to share with you, like what I want you guys basically to take from this session, is I want to help you to break free from a lot of conditioning and shame that actually limits your sexual expression. And we'll go into this because that shaming is actually extremely subtle. So we don't even notice all the little ways how we are being suppressed. I want you also to understand what tantric sexuality for men is, because there's a lot of assumptions that are very discouraging for men really to go into this. So I want to bust some of this and really show you the actual potential and how these practices can absolutely revolutionize your sex life. Then we will go into the 3 key elements, like 3 levels of practice to help you really unlock your full sexual potential. And then we'll do a practice, it's called a breath bliss, where we will be working with each of these layers. So you'll actually get to experience in your body how it feels when the energy starts moving, when your body gets extra activated. And this is the foundation for you to be able to open the flow of the sexual energy in your body to last longer and experience orgasmic bliss in every cell of your body. So if you're interested in non-ejaculation and full body orgasm, this is exactly where you want to go with this and what you want to practice. So first of all, I want to say thank you so much for being here. I really do not take it lightly. I respect you and I respect your time. So I want you to know that I'm going to give 100% today. And I really care about the results you guys are going to get from this. So I know you're going to walk away with the tools, with the understanding and the inspiration and feeling uplifted and more confident in your sexuality. So all of this is for you today. And I really do appreciate, because, you know, we live in times, even now in the lockdown, there's always like tens and tens of other things we could be doing. I'm pretty sure you guys all want to watch something on Netflix right now. I started a new movie yesterday, like I want to finish it. And it's like, it's easy to get caught in other things. But, you know, it's like, there's this little voice inside of you that said like, oh, sign up for this and show up and see, you know, and that's your intuition, that's your gut feeling. And I just really want to honor the fact that you listen to it, because most people don't. Sorry, just let me admit another person here. Michael, all the spotlight on you. Welcome. So basically there's this idea which is called divine timing. And what it means is that like things happen in the right time for us, and we can work with it, we can speed things up, but usually we co-create our life with the spirit. And so we are given a series of choices and decisions in our life that can help us move faster and closer to where we want to get in life. And so this is basically you being here and me being here. That's for my path. But basically what I want you to know is that if you're here, like there is a reason for that. And this may be like one thing, literally just one thing that I will say that will be this big aha moment for you. Or what can happen today is that we can plant a seed, and maybe it will take a few days, few weeks, or even a few months for that seed to sprout and blossom. But unless you plant that seed, nothing will grow. So just know that there is a reason why you're here. And whether it's small or big, there's something you're meant to get from here. And, you know, this is really amazing. Like, don't we all sign up for tons of things online? But then hardly anyone shows up. And there is the saying, how you do anything is how you do everything. And I hated the saying when I first heard it, because I was working, that's when I lived, by the way, Will, this is when I lived in KL, and I was working for the company called Mind Valley. And we had this guy come over to our office, and he was basically saying that you can look at our desks, and based on how our desk is organized or not, he can say whether someone is a good organized employee or not. And my desk was not organized. And I was like, this is not true. My desk does not represent how I do my work. But over the years, you know, I actually realized that it was true. I was a mess mentally and emotionally, and it was reflected by my desk. So I do believe that the saying, how you do anything is how you do everything, is absolutely true. And so the fact that you have shown up here today, right now, when you could be doing lots of other things or just ignore that altogether, it says something about you. It says that you're someone who shows up for yourself. And probably you don't show up 100% of times, no one does, but you did show up today. And I really want you to just take a moment and truly deeply appreciate it, because that basically puts you ahead of about 80% of people. You know, that's what really makes people get closer to where they want to get in life, is showing up no matter what. And I get this. There's so many things I sign up for which turn out to be a waste of time. So you don't actually know, is this going to be like an investment or a waste of your time? But there is this idea that we get to ask ourselves, what if I'm actually going to get exactly what I'm looking for? what if this is going to change my life? You know, so I just want to say I so deeply honor that. I love hanging out and like personally with people who have this type of way of showing up in life. So I truly, truly, truly respect it about each one of you. And a few things about this space before we jump right into the juicy stuff. So first of all, in my space, you're sovereign. So that means if you want your camera on, you can keep it on. And if you want it off, like some of you have, you can keep it off. I will say that for me, it helps me to see you, because through seeing you, I can actually say how the information is landing, how you're reacting, and I can also read your energy through that. So that helps me. However, if you don't feel confident, you can keep it off. Or if you want to have your camera on for a while and then you change your mind, do that. So please remember, you are sovereign. This is your space, and it is about you being comfortable. The second thing, this is going to be interactive, okay? Yes, you can just sit and listen, but we all know that if we're just in a passive state, we don't actually, like, it's like, okay, yeah, cool, good information, but if we really wanted to land and go inside of our body, because that's where the change happens, the integration of new knowledge happens when it's integrated in the body, not the mind, not the understanding. The understanding is the step to help us embody something. Like if we don't understand something, then the brain can block it, but it's only when it becomes a new neuropath in your physical body. This is when the knowledge is integrated. So I want you to interact with me, okay? What does that mean? I want you to comment and let me know. Thanks. So first of all, like if something resonates with you, please comment. Like I want to know that okay, yeah, you like you feel this is exactly what you needed to hear. And I think, I'm not really sure, I think on Zoom you can do like waves or send love. Please do send me love. I always appreciate it. That also means that if something is challenging, if you feel triggered by anything that I say or do, I also want you to let me know. Like write in comments, you know, say, hey, I don't think this is true. Ooh, I feel contraction in my body. And also, if you feel more comfortable messaging me personally, that's okay. In the work that I'll speak about it more, but I predominantly work with men. And I know that like settings like this, where you have a group of men and a woman talking about your sexuality, I get it. This is not the most comfortable or welcome space for men. So again, I super appreciate you guys are here. I know this is not all that easy. And also I understand that if you may not feel fully confident to message your comments so that everyone can see it, also just message me privately. I'm looking at the chat while we have this discussion, and I'll do my best to reply to each one of you. Another thing is that I want you to listen with your body. So this may be a new concept, because when we talk about embodiment, we usually like this is something that women are so good with, like we move, we feel, we're so emotional and all over the place. As a man, you're usually composed. And this is even the qualities that we praise in men, right? The divine masculinity, when you're present and unshaken. So how on earth are you meant to listen and react with your body? So what it means is that every now and then when I say something or we do something, just close your eyes, and like this allows you to go deeper into the body and just kind of notice sensations. And sensations will usually show up around the chest, especially the upper chest, in the middle of your chest, in your heart space, and also in your lower belly. You may feel something in the genitals as well. So these are usually the areas where the body reacts in some way. And this may be like feeling nervous. You may feel some heat. You may feel like tingling, opening, or like contracting. And really the body can be in one of the two states, expansion or contraction. So you guys just do this with me for a second, okay? So just open your chest, just notice how your body feels when you expand, okay? This is how the expansion feels in the body, and now contract, okay? There is a difference feeling in the muscles, like the muscles stretch and the muscles contract. So the more you kind of learn to be with your body like this and listen with your body, the more you'll be sensitive to these tiny also differences in how all of these different sensations feel. Now, why is this so important? It's because when you feel resistance, especially when there's something feeling a bit off in the body, that's your body screaming at you and begging you to listen and to pay attention. It means that there is something very important that your body wants you to pay attention to. Okay, so anytime you feel any sort of charge, if you have any notebook, write it down, or write it down in the comments. Like just do something to note it down, to pay attention, because if you don't, you're gonna miss it. You know, like I said at the very beginning, you guys are here for a reason, and maybe there's just one thing that you need to get from this training. I don't want you to miss that one thing, to make sure that when that one thing shows up today, you actually receive it and remember it. You gotta listen with your body. Okay, does it sound good? See, I just want what is the timeline, end time? Okay, so I am opting for 1 hour. This may be 1 hour and 15 minutes altogether, and I'll do my best not to go longer, even though I have a tendency of talking a lot, so my apologies. Okay, and the last thing, just kind of to set up the space. So this is being recorded. And this will be available for 48 hours for you guys, but also this is going to be available for people who sign up who cannot join. So we have actually a lot of people from Europe for whom it's like 2 a.m. I was getting lots of messages like, well, unfortunately they cannot come, or well, let's just say they chose sleep, which is a smart choice to make. So again, this will be available for 48 hours, and then it's going to disappear. No one will be able to access it later. That also means that you guys don't have to necessarily take notes if you don't want to, if you just want to be present, because once again, you will receive the link. Okay. Okay. I need to shake my body a little bit. So all the logistics are done. So now let's start getting into the juicy stuff, into talking about how to be a tantric lover and what does it mean for you. And I want to address a few things. One of those things being, how on earth is a woman teaching this? So this is one of the things I do want to address, because I know it's a common question and maybe even a trigger. So first of all, like I said, I'm a conscious relating and intimacy coach. And basically what I do is I take Tantra, sacred sexuality, energy work, and I take the Western approach and human psychology, human behavior, and I love merging these two together. So for me, it's really about like bringing these arts to people who need it the most. And it's the people like you, like me, who are very ambitious, wanna get something done in life. You know, it's like I live in a tantric community, but by no means do I think that everyone needs to move to a small tropical island to be able to explore new depths of sexuality. So I love bridging these two worlds and kind of use inclusive language and make it available and accessible, because it really is. It's not like such a huge rocket science. You just need to understand what it's about, get the right techniques, and boom, you're there. It's really that easy. So that's what I do. And I actually do predominantly work with men. I work with couples and the women as well, but yeah, I mostly work with men. And I know there are not many women who do it. For some reason, women feel very unsafe and uncomfortable guiding men into these arts. So I feel super honored that I received that calling in my life, and here I am. Yeah, I want to tell you a little bit like where I come from and like why. Okay, I have a lot of questions. Yeah, okay, I will speak about it. So there's a question, private message that says, most Tantra coaches I've seen so far are women. Traditionally, Tantrikas are all women, yes? And the answer is yes, and I will speak about it today a bit later, because there's exactly the reason why I do this work. It's because there is a certain magic in receiving that transmission from a woman. So I'll speak about it more when we start talking about like male sexual energy, exactly this. I think, you know, just to look into this, I think it's with all of everything that's happening and like, you know, the Me Too movement and all of the stories of abuse, I think a lot of women are really afraid and not sure how to work with men. Most of us who go into these teachings, we go into these teachings because we have our own healing to do. So there's a lot of trauma that these women carry with them. And basically they want to empower other women to step up, but it's a very different energy for a woman to work with men. And yeah, basically I just sort of like already hinted here that I got here to this place because I needed to do my own work. So for me, I was always very sexual, but my sexuality wasn't received very well. So I would be shamed in different ways. And I didn't realize how that, when I was a kid and a teenager, how I just started suppressing all of this energy. And then I got into my first committed relationship in my late 20s, because also that's how cynical I was about love, looking at all the toxicity I received from my parents. And so in this relationship, what came up as a big issue is that I wasn't having orgasm. I just couldn't relax. I didn't know how to. And my partner, started taking it very personally. And eventually, like, that just started a snowball effect and we split. And it was really painful for me to accept the fact that because of my struggles to orgasm, I lost the relationship. But this is also when I realized that I really need to do something about it, that this is serious and I need to take action. Just kind of hoping for things to change, or like hoping that this is not an issue, like that just wasn't the case anymore. So I went into this world, and we're talking about times when Tantra wasn't really available. Like there was no webinars, no teachers online. And I got myself in really weird situations. I did some things that I probably shouldn't have, and I would never recommend anyone to do. But like I did it all because I was so like, I got it. I got to look at it. I got to do it. So I was working with this shaman in Bali, actually, and I was actually having sex with him for my sexual healing, which was probably the weirdest thing I've ever done. I attended the school called Agama, which was recently closed because of all the accusations of rape and abuse of power. I took part and organized like tantric orgies, group rituals, like I did a lot of things. So I also experienced what it's like when there is abuse of power, and when men and women, instead of coming together for mutual healing and expansion, when there is this power play between the genders. And I don't want to go too much into my story today, but like I've done enough things to reflect on how I want to teach and what are my values at work. And so and then and I was working with women, and I was like, I don't want to work with men because I was getting so much attention. I didn't know how to do this at that time. And then this one man asked me what I would teach him. And all I knew that my whole body said yes. I didn't know how, I didn't know what I was meant to do with him. I never worked with men before that. But my whole body said yes. And since then, I've worked with hundreds of men, whether, through online sessions, online courses, or in-person sessions. And I absolutely love it. And that's what I'm trying to do today, to like bring this conversation up, normalize it, which, by the way, is not easy when you're being blocked everywhere. I was just recently blocked by my email service provider. So I joined a different company. 2 days later, they blocked me as well. So I was like, shoot, what the heck do I have to do? Like I was blocked by Facebook 3 times. People in my industry, like they lose their YouTube accounts, their Facebook profiles, Instagram profiles. So it's actually like I don't know if you guys fully understand it, but for us to try to get this knowledge to you, it's freaking difficult. Like we risk losing it all to be able to share that. And it's ridiculous, but that's what I mentioned at the beginning. The way that we try to suppress and limit sexuality is very subtle, and it's normalized. And that's one of these examples. Like you guys have no idea how hard it is. Like I was blocked by my email service provider, wait for it, for sharing content that may arouse someone. That's enough to be blocked these days. So again, just understand that like anytime you see someone speak about it, just send them love and encouragement. We need it. And again, thank you for being here today, because that gives me this motivation. Okay, so enough about me. Let's talk about you. And I would like to hear from you guys. How does it feel to be going into this topic? Like how do you feel right now in this moment? Knowing we're going to talk about sexuality, male sexuality, male ability to have multiple orgasms. Like, how does it feel for you to go into this conversation right now? So if you guys want to just write some in the chat, I would love to hear that. Just to also kind of know where you are, how you're feeling, emotionally, mentally, where's your body? Like, how does it feel now? And I'm just going to check. I've got a few private messages. Felix says, wonderful, I'm excited someone's teaching and showing this. Thank you. I also wanted to address a question that I got. So it's, do I really find it that the sexual intimacy helps us feel joy and happiness? And yes, absolutely yes. So keep in mind that your sexual energy, that's your life force. Okay, that's your life force. This is the exact same energy that creates life, and this is also, that's your creativity as well. Like that's your vitality, that's your kundalini. It's all and the same. So the more you open the flow of your sexual energy, the more you open all of these additional benefits. So you're more in flow with life, you're more connected to the spirit and to earth. You feel more motherly love because the energy comes from earth. You feel more supported. You feel like you actually are meant to be here. You're more in flow with life. You get these ideas. It's like your whole body feels more juicy. So one of the things actually that we do these days is like sex becomes one of the compartments in our life, whereas sexuality should be like an underlying layer at any time. Like anytime. So like I always, especially with women, like when I teach women, I always tell them to just rock their hips a little bit, because that's enough for a woman to activate sexual energy. So it's like you always want to be simmering a little bit, and then just kind of, it's like adding spices to everything in your life. Okay, Jean says, feels great. Energy is real, and polarity is what makes sex great. Yes. I feel so blissful. You're giving lots of education about sexual life. Thank you guys. Thank you. Awesome. And just please remember, always feel free to interact. I want to hear from you. I want to see how everything is. Okay, I have a question. Can you comment vocally? Yes. Just keep in mind this is recorded. As long as that's okay with you, absolutely. Just raise your hand. Or if I'm not seeing your hand, just unmute yourself and be louder than me, and then and then I know you want to talk. Is this something you want to share now?
Yeah, I just wanted to share that after a year and a half ago, when I was first introduced to Tantra, I feel like it's sort of coming a full circle of okay, now I'm ready to start, is the feeling. So it's kind of been, yeah, it's sometimes, you know, the right time is it's the right time, you know. It's it would have been nice if I'd taken this more seriously earlier, but here we are.
Divine timing. Yeah. Just so you know, for me it was similar. I remember when I first heard of Agama, it took me 3 years to not think, what is this horrible place? This is, how can this exist? And then going to Agama, it's the same. There is this practice called the yoni massage, which is a massage inside of the vagina. When I first heard about it, I was like, what the fuck is this? A strange man putting his finger inside of me. He's like, no. Again, it took me 3 years before I was ready to open for that. And now I don't teach yoni, but I offer lingam massage, which is like a practice for men. So exactly, it's like planting the seeds until we'll finally ready to receive that.
Well, I mean, it certainly wasn't turned off. It was very, you know, it was beautifully presented with someone that I'd met here who's been to Thailand, to the island, numerous times. You may even have met before. But it's just, you know, it takes a certain discipline, right? It takes a certain discipline. And I guess, yeah, you have to sort of see what's possible for a while and realize that, you know, there's work to be done to achieve it. So signing up for free webinars, and here I am with you, and I'll see, maybe you'll go further.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that you're here. So guys, first what I want to share first is before we get into like what is this tantric sexuality and these different layers, I want to actually first say what it does not mean to be a tantric lover, because these are things that I see a lot and they're just not really true, and they can be really off-putting for people. So the first one, what is not like tantric sexuality, it's being gentle, soft, and slow. So yes, there is space for slowing down, but if you're someone who's into BDSM and all the kink, if you love to fuck, that is just as tantric, okay? So like people sometimes assume that, oh, you have to slow down and now be very gentle all the time. No, this is one of the expressions of sexuality. Again, you can be super animalistic, super passionate, you can have quickies, and you can be just as tantric. The second thing that is not tantra or tantric sexuality is polyamory. Now, yes, it does so happen that a lot of tantric communities practice this, but I will tell you, after being after doing open relating for a couple of years, that quite frankly, most of the people who do this, they're afraid of commitment. They're afraid of commitment, and they use these tantric, ideas like, oh, unconditional love and everything, not to deal with their shit and their fears, to be honest. So you can be in an open relationship, or you can be in a monogamous relationship, and you can still be a beautiful tantric lover. And finally, what it's also not about is the orgies. And again, I know a lot of people just kind of assume that once you go into Tantra, then it's about all of the sex and group sex and everything. And again, there is space for this, and there is a reason for that. But you can actually be even celibate and be tantric. This is, again, something that people don't actually get and don't understand or don't know about. You can be celibate. We do the practice called conscious celibacy for a reason, and you can still be tantric, and you can still be practicing tantric sexuality. So then, now let's flip it around. So what is tantric sexuality? What does it mean to be a tantric lover? And the best way to understand it is through the benefits. It's through how that impacts your life. And this is also to answer the question that I got, does it really bring more joy and happiness to your life? So I even posted about it a few days ago. It's because it happened to me and many of my friends who teach this. It's when we were telling our friends that oh my God, it's amazing how great my sex life is now that I'm into Tantra. And what they would say is that, oh, you probably had bad sex before. And yes, if you had bad sex before, this is going to be amazing, but this is really not about that. You can either have great sex and you don't realize that it can get so much better unless you actually get there. So what you're really feeling once you start working with these practices, when you start opening your sexual energy, is this incredible, deep, intimate connection with yourself. And that's the connection to your body, which includes your genitals, and to your heart, to your soul. And it's if you, for those of you who have done any deep spiritual work, when you have these moments when you can really go beyond the physical, and you can feel those glimpses of unconditional love, you actually get to experience that. You also have this deep connection with your partner. So one of the main things is that you experience the incredible opening of your heart. Because we work with the energy, the sexual energy moves, we want to move it to the heart at least. So there's a huge opening of the heart. And literally, when you're having tantric sex with someone, it's impossible not to fall in love. And I'm talking the deep love, not conditional love. Now, once you stop having sex and the energy drops, usually the heart goes a little bit back where it was. But you're really feeling the intimacy, I feel you don't really know what intimacy is unless you can truly open your heart that deeply. It also means you're going to have the same deep, intimate relationship with life. Okay, so you start feeling energy of nature. The deeper you go into practices with energy, it becomes very difficult to live in a city. This is why we all live on tropical islands. It's when I'm in the city and and there's concrete everywhere, there's no grass, no soil, I literally feel I'm suffocating. It's hard for me. When I'm around too many people, I feel it. So, but at the same time, I can go to the waterfall and I can connect to water or a flower. And for me, because of my specific my energy blueprint, I have a very strong connection to soil and to rocks. So for me, when I sit on a rock, I feel the energy, and I can literally go into orgasmic waves, channeling the energy from the rocks. So that's what I mean being that intimate with life. This also gives you altered states of consciousness. So I think honestly, and I've done medicine and I've done really intense breath work and all the sensory deprivation practices. And I still had my deepest spiritual experience after making love with my tantric partner. It's really hard to explain, but it's I really became Shakti, the feminine principle that together with Shiva, the consciousness, created the universe. And I went somewhere else. I came back and I was what the heck just happened? And it was because we're moving the energy. I had a spontaneous Kundalini shoot up through my spine, again, after having a tantric lovemaking session. So you get to experience this ecstatic nirvana bliss-like states. You're also opening your sexual energy to freely circulating through your body. And what that means is that it makes you feel more energized, because remember, that's your life force, right? So you're like it's this vitality moves through every cell of your body. Like you feel it, you really feel it. People who are naturally very sexual, they have lots of energy. Like think even of, you know, artists, like some conquerors and leaders in our times. Like they have lots of energy. You know, you may judge them how they use the energy, but they have energy. It puts you more in flow with life, because remember, this is life force energy flowing through you. So now you can understand where life wants you to go. You open sources of creativity and insights and intuition. You feel more supported. And yes, this is what you need to experience full body orgasm. It also helps you last longer. It removes issues with premature ejaculation and erectile dysfunction. It increases your libido, your stamina. And if that is something you guys want, and I know many men do care about how they show up for their partner, like this is really, like those practices really do turn you into the best lover that she's ever had. So you will be able to give her pleasure that she has never experienced. Yes, Sibyl, that's okay. I'll catch you later. I just got a message here.
Yeah. Parenting.
Okay. Yeah, and also another things you will experience is that there's a lot of release of shame and conditioning around sex. Like, guys, look at me, how I just talk about sex as if I was talking about the tea that I'm drinking. And I swear, if it was 10 years ago, any one of you would tell me that I would be so open about it. That would not be the case. You also become sovereign in your sexuality. So you're not dependent on a partner or any external things to feel 100% sexually satisfied. So whether right now you're single or in a partnership, like you get to feel sexually satisfied, okay? So this is everything that's waiting for you. And again, by the way, yes, we are gonna go longer. I'm sorry. I hope you guys can stay with me. So the practice we'll do today, it's really going, like, it will give you the feeling of what it's like when you actually get into all of this, like how does it feel to have it in your body? But what I wanted to say is exactly this shaming and conditioning, because we don't actually realize in what ways you guys are shamed and like basically your sexuality is being suppressed in ways that you're not even fully aware. So I'm gonna share with you a few things that are considered to be male sexuality, right? Men always want sex. And it's superficial, right? You just wanna have sex, you wanna fuck, doesn't matter if you love a woman or not. You'll take any woman, right? As long as she's willing, you're fine, you can have sex. You get aroused really fast, you come fast. Coming means ejaculation, and once you ejaculate, you need to rest because you have what's called the retraction time, right? So when I say these things, just again, close your eyes, listen to your body. How true does it feel? Do you actually believe that this is what male sexuality is? Meaning you always want to have sex, that you need a variety, you need to fuck a lot of women, and that you don't need to be in love. It doesn't have to be a deep, intimate connection. And yeah, that you get aroused really fast, you come really fast, and basically after sex, after you ejaculate, you sometimes don't even want to talk to her. Okay. And then stay with your eyes closed and just notice how you feel. I'm gonna say a few sentences. And Raviraj, I got your message, thank you. So I want you to just notice how you feel when you hear things like, so keep your eyes closed, listen with your body. How do you feel when you hear things such as, you only want sex? You don't care about me, you just wanted to fuck me. You're an asshole. You're a lousy lover, you don't even know how to please a woman. And again, notice possible contraction, what happens in your body. Okay, now open your eyes. So the thing is that the way we shame male sexuality is very subtle, so we often don't notice it, and it's also normalized, meaning we assume this is what it is. So practically, you guys, I don't know if you realize it, but you're being sexually shamed anytime you watch any romantic movie in which a guy just chases a woman, like he doesn't love her, but he just chases her because he just wants to get laid. Okay, this is the conditioning you receive. Anytime you approach a woman and she looks at you with disapproval, like, who do you think you are? That's where you're getting shamed. Anytime you watch porn, by the way, it's not that porn is bad, but how men are, like, we always talk about, oh, it's so bad for women, but what the conditioning you receive as a man is just as shaming. So now I want you to open up yourself to a different idea of sexuality. And once again, close your eyes and listen with your body and notice how your body will feel now. So what if your sexuality was about full body and spiritual experiences? Very deep heart, intimate connection with yourself and with your partner. Huge heart opening. Healing, very deep healing. Penetrating the whole universe with your cock. Penetrating Shakti with your cock to create the whole universe. Full body orgasm without ejaculation, multiple orgasm, energy orgasm, kundalini orgasm, your whole body shaking. Energy sex without penetration, or sex with soft penis. Feeling incredible love, unconditional love for yourself, for your partner, and the whole world when you're having sex. And sit with this. How does that feel in your body? Beautiful. So open your eyes. And if any one of you wants to share, either speaking up or writing in comments, like how did it feel in your body? Like these two approaches to male sexuality, this very traditional and that new one.
I think I felt more sensual and more awakened, in the second time. The first time it was negative, and the second time was more positive and feeling the body and feeling the vibe and the positive energy moving in the body. Yeah.
Thank you.
So just to follow up, it's so interesting because I've been researching this for a while, and as a man, I love women, and I've always loved women, right? And I remember, when I was younger, chasing women, and I just want to ejaculate, and it's over, and I just want to go to sleep. And I used to remember I wanted this woman so bad, and yet I have her now. I don't even want her anymore, and I wanted to get away from that. I wanted a deeper connection, where it was like, how do I absorb her energy, just being around her? And not even saying a word and just feeling that energy. So that's what I moved towards. And when you said that, just embracing the masculine and penetrating the world, I felt like my energy just moved right through my body. And that's what I'm moving towards. And that's beautiful.
I'm getting shivers listening to this. Thank you so much. Anyone else would like to share? And you guys, you can also message me privately or comment, or you can speak up.
I think it's interesting with the second thing you shared, how those prior programs actually start to block that opening into those spaces. It's like there are these limiting beliefs that are setting me back from experiencing those more fully in my life. And yeah, it's like a deep program versus actually embodying this idea, and I find that often, like with my partner, I reach these incredible places of spiritual opening, but I'm immediately pulled back by shame or guilt or like a restriction. And yeah, it's interesting to feel the polarity in that.
Thank you. Yeah, and this is one of the things, like I always say, it's like we don't understand that we're being like controlled in a way, in a very subtle way, in ways that we don't even fully understand. Like that one of the things I say, for example, guys, just take this into consideration, right? Why on earth, when you go to the beach, should you wear like look at what are the only parts of the body we cover when we go to the beach? Like for women, it's breasts and we need the bottoms, right? Now, if you think biologically, there's absolutely no reason at all why your genitals should be covered. No reason. In fact, for yonis, for vaginas, it's unhealthy to wear underwear. One of the best things a woman can do is to stop wearing underwear. And we know for men as well, if you wear like, you know, Speedos, like it actually makes the balls too hot and it can impact your testosterone levels and your fertility. So if anything, boxers are fine. But again, if anything, nature would want us not to cover the genitals. We do. And we don't even question this, right? Because, oh, well, that's the standards. Yeah, it's illegal in, I think, every country probably to be naked in public, right? It's like, and you start thinking about it, it's like, you know, start questioning these things, which have been normalized. It doesn't mean that they're normal. Awesome, thank you so much. So, okay, so how can you now like actually step into this, right? How can you rewire your body so that this becomes like something that you don't just understand, you don't just observe, but actually feel it? And I just want to first see a little comment that I got here. So one of the persons said, I feel great, connection. It sounds more like being with someone you're really connected to. How does one have sex with self-penis? Okay, so we don't have time to go into this, but you can totally have sex with self-penis. You can, there are different positions when you can gently slide your penis inside her and it may get erect, it doesn't have to. And you also can have sex without penetration. Like you can have deep energy orgasm without even touching the genitals. And another message, it felt like a flow state that I am meant to be in. Yeah, I'm new to all of this and I'm looking forward to understanding the concept of clarity. It does feel like a flow state because in a way that's what nature is. That's the natural state of energy. So the more you step into that expression of your sexuality, the more aligned you are with nature. So absolutely you feel that flow. So, okay. So like I said, we're going to do practice today and we're going to look at 3 keys or 3 elements that open you to that form of sexuality. Okay. And so these 3 elements, they're a foundation if you want to go deeper into tantric sexuality, if you want to experience full body orgasm and also practice ejaculation mastery. And I will explain for each of them how it impacts your sexuality, and we'll do the practice to actually embody that. So the practice we're going to do, it's a breath that I call bliss breath. And there will be 3 elements we'll be working with one by one to exactly introduce this new conditioning for the body. So the first one is the breath itself. So you guys know it, of course, that we don't really pay attention to how we breathe. And there's so many specific techniques of how we can breathe to give us different results. So it matters whether you breathe with your nose or your mouth. It matters whether you breathe with your left or right nostril. It matters if your inhale and exhale is the same length or not. It matters if you pause or if you breathe without any pauses. All of this will impact your body, your energy differently. So there's lots and lots of techniques for this. But the most important thing is that we usually breathe with our nose, in and out with the nose. And if you've ever done any mindful practices, if you've ever done any meditation, that's exactly what you're told to do, right? Awesome. Add to this the fact that probably when you were a kid, you heard from your parents that you should close your mouth, right? It's like it's rude to have your mouth open, so you close your mouth and then only air goes through the nose. Now, yes, if you want to calm your mind and your body, breathing in and out with the nose is perfect, and that's why we do this in meditation. But when we talk about sexuality, you do not want to have a calm body. You want the opposite. So the most important thing, and we're going to do the practice now, is to breathe in and out with your mouth. Okay, now why is breath so important? Because the breath is the carrier of energy, of prana. Okay, so yes, there is oxygen, and when you inhale deeply, you also like get hyperventilated and sort of high on oxygen, but you're also getting high on energy. And simply, you get to take more air and more energy when you breathe with the mouth than when you breathe with the nose. And also circulates differently because of the nadis that flow through your body. Nadis, so these are the energy channels. So it's also it's a different activation. So that's how we want to breathe with the mouth, okay? So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do a few of these deep breaths, and you're going to see how freaking dizzy you can get if you breathe properly with your mouth. Now, what's important is that when we do this, so this is what the breathing through mouth is not. That's not it. It's also not this. That is a calming breath. That's a different type of a breath. When I say we want to activate the body, the breath is like this. Okay? So what does it mean? I'm actually taking really a lot of air in and I'm taking a lot of air out. Okay? In and out deeply. And we just had someone new, Alexander, who joined us. Alex, you're just in time. We're about to jump into the practice where we're going to breathe deeply in and out of the mouth. So again, it's in, right? And you're allowing the whole body to move with the breath. And we do not pause. Now, I don't want you to rush the breath. Take the deep inhale, deep exhale, but you breathe like this. Okay, so it's a continuous flow. You don't stop, okay? So you guys ready to do a few of these together? Okay, I want to see the thumbs up if you guys feel good enough to do this. Lovely. So for this, so we have Aaron come back. So, okay, so let's just give a second for Aaron. Aaron, welcome back. We're about to do a breath practice. So just follow in and out with your mouth, okay? So close your eyes and start with the breath in. Exhale. And just continue breathing like this. By now you should feel a bit dizzy. Continue. And if you're feeling very dizzy, then extend the inhale and extend the exhale. Make them longer, but keep breathing deeply. And what can also help if you place your palms down, either on your lap, on the floor, on the bed, allowing the excess energy to go down through your hands into the earth. And keep breathing. Just a few more. One last inhale. Exhale. Now stay with your eyes closed. Don't move your body. Normalize your breath. And tune into your body. And this is a very important part because this is when you learn to perceive your energy. Normally, when we do deep breath work, the energy body starts getting like tingly. You feel the sensations. So stay with your body. Notice the sensations around your arms, especially around your arms, around your chest, around your head. Lovely. Okay, so open your eyes. So that was level number 1. And I'm just curious, again, show me, did you guys like feel a bit dizzy? Like show me with your thumbs. Could you feel dizzy on the breath already? Okay, awesome. Yeah. So by the way, you can go in depth with just that and actually have a full body orgasm. Okay, that's how powerful breath is. But now we're going to add the second element, which is super, super important. And this is the sound. Now, there is a reason why we want to use sound. So this is about opening of your throat. That's number 1. So I like to compare our sexuality and our ability to have a full body orgasm to a bottle of a champagne. So if you take Moet Chandon or anything else and you shake it, shake it, shake it, for as long as the bottle is closed, nothing happens. Like it doesn't matter how much you shake it, nothing happens. But the moment you pop the cork, poof, explosion. Your throat is like that. Basically, our throats are stuck. There's a cork in the throat. So we activate all this energy through thrusting and lovemaking or breath work, but the energy doesn't blow up. We don't experience this because there's a contraction in the throat. And there are specific techniques to unlock the throat, and making sounds is one of them. So when you start talking, moaning, whatever other sounds you want to make, you start opening, you're loosening up here the throat, you're loosening up the muscles, and you're opening the throat. Now, usually moaning is a thing that women do. And maybe moaning is not necessarily the sound that you want to be making. Maybe it doesn't feel natural, but still there are lots and lots of sounds that you can make. Another reason why we want to make sounds is that actually sound originates in your root chakra. So people often say that the sound originates in your diaphragm. It goes even deeper. It starts in the root chakra. So the root is your perineum, your sitting bones, and your genitals. So when you start making sounds, especially deep sounds from your root, you're activating your sexual energy and you're activating your root chakra. So that has a few benefits for us. Number one is that, yeah, it activates your sexual energy. So just through the proper sounding, you can get aroused. Like you're not doing anything else, just with the right sounding, you can get aroused. Secondly, it strengthens the energy of the root chakra. Your root chakra is your sex muscle. And again, there are specific techniques that you can do to strengthen the sex muscle. And learning to use the sound that's connected to the root is one of those techniques. So the stronger your root chakra, the stronger your erection, the stronger your orgasm, the more control you have over your ejaculation and your energy. It's extra vitality, stamina to last longer. So it's a really important energy center for us to work with. So we want to add the sound to also activate it. And the last thing is that the sound moves energy. So when we talk about, non-ejaculation and full body orgasm, it's about taking the sexual energy from your genitals and move it into the whole body. Sound is one of the ways how we move energy. So that's why this is the second element that we want to activate. And so, like I said, you don't have to moan. You don't like, I get it that it may not feel very natural. But what we want to do, and this is enough for you to already get all of those benefits, is to sigh out when you exhale. So again, we will inhale. And that's the sound. You don't want to be like, you want to go deep into the root, right? It's like this animalistic sound, like, I'm gonna be like really allowing the like this animalistic primal energy to come out when you sigh out, okay? So we're gonna do again a few breaths like this. So we continue the inhale and exhale with the mouth the way we did before, and then letting it all out with the sound, okay? So let's get ready. Close your eyes and begin. Inhale. And when the voice wants to go higher pitch, keep it low. Just a few more. And now allow the voice to become a bit higher in pitch. And higher. And higher. And higher. One last. And calm the breath. Stay with your eyes closed. Stay in your body and tune into sensations in your body. Physical and energy body. Just tune in, feel it all in. Staying with the body, feeling the body. Allowing for the energy to calm down and even out. Shake your body a little bit. Shake your body. Because when you start doing this practice, it's easy to kind of shoot up energetically. So just, okay. How did that feel? How was it to make sounds? This is blissful and amazing. Yay. Oh, awesome. So we're going to add now the third layer. And the third layer is the movement. So when it comes to the movement, here's why it's important. So I want you to imagine that you have a box with old paint. And over time, what happens is that at the bottom of the container, you have like this dense, really hard pieces of paint, and at the top you have like water, right? And so what you need to do to be able to use the paint, you need to shake it, you need to mix it, because if you don't include the movement, this hard part of the paint is just going to become solid, and you won't be able to take it with your brush. Okay, I'm not going to say the name, but I just wanted to say that one of you mentioned that you can feel the energy in your cock, and beautiful that you did. This is so amazing, because absolutely just from the breath and the sounding, you can feel aroused. And like I said, you can have a full body freaking orgasm from that. So if that happened to you, celebrating hard cocks and soft cocks as well, just all cocks. Okay, so the movement, right? So we're shaking your body so that this dense energy can move. So remember, the sexual energy, any energy that's below your belly button, is really dense, and it's very hard to move it. And again, depending on what is your sexuality blueprint, your energy may be more or less dense. My sexuality type means that my energy is extremely dense, which means I have lots of sexual energy, lots of vitality, which I'm sure you can see, but sometimes it's really freaking difficult to move that energy. So I can get like really frustrated because I just cannot move this energy. So we need to incorporate the movement to loosen that energy, to kind of add liquidity to the sexual energy so we can move it through the body. Okay, so just one person asked me, where should I focus my mind when I feel the energy flow? For now, don't focus anywhere, let it flow. Let it flow. There's different techniques where you want to focus your mind. But for now, I want you to feel it in your whole body, because we're talking about the full body experiences. So it's first open your body fully to feel the energy, and then we get to direct it. And the where we focus the mind is one of the techniques to do that. Thank you for the question. Okay. So now about the movement, here is another thing. So we want to move your sexual energy, which is your root and your hips, right? Now, the way that the hip area is built for men and women is very different. So women, we can move in circles, right? Circular movements, our hips allow us to do it. For men, not so much. You have a different build. So this is not fully natural for a man, but I just want you to try to like kind of go more in circles, right? Like this. Try to go in circles and see what your body allows you to do. Okay, just understanding that you have a different body structure. Okay, so this is one of the movements. Sorry, I need some water. Okay, so the idea is that we want to do movements that activate the hips. So this is one, right? Just circling the hips, but also circling the whole body. So now the movement becomes bigger. But it's not the only way. You can also go back and right. I'm expanding my chest and going back. So we can play with all of these movements, right? I can move my chest, contract, forward, backward. So any movements that just kind of feel good for your body, right? And finding something that feels natural in the flow. You don't want to abuse your body. Remember, your body is the feminine. So you don't want to abuse your inner feminine, right? You want to welcome her and allow her to be expressed the way she wants to. So just finding the way that your body can move. Okay, so we're going to add this to what we've been doing so far. So for the full breath, where we have the in and out of the mouth, where we're adding the sound and we're adding the movement, I'm going to show you now, let's say the female version, okay? The female version will be like this. Again, this is how my body wants to move. And like I said, female body has a bit of different fluidity. For you, it can be, right? But I want you to try to originate the movement in the hips. So when you think of like, thrusting and masturbating, the hips go like this, right? It's a very mechanical movement. I'm asking you to bring more of the spiral movement. The sexual energy Kundalini moves like this. That's the movement of the energy. So we want to move the body in this way to assist the energy to move, okay? So we're gonna do this together. And again, this is just for you also take a few breaths to tune into your body, how it wants to move. So let's get ready and begin. And inhale. Ah, ah, ah. And allow, if your arms want to also move, let the arms float. I usually like just start touching myself a little bit, moving the energy through the body while I breathe. All of this is welcome. And really finding this bliss in the breath. Deep inhale and deep exhale. Ah, 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 just a few more. Ah, 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 and a couple of more. Deep inhale, very deep inhale. Ah, ah, and one last inhale. Ah, and finding stillness in your physical body with your eyes closed and just observing that the energy still wants to move inside of your body. So you're holding the container with your physical body and tuning into these gentle sensations of the energy, how the energy wants to move. Just feeling all of this. Okay, and whenever you want to, you can open your eyes so you can stay in that state a bit longer if you're enjoying it. So I just also wanted to address one of the questions I got privately, which was that my tongue wanted to hang and be free. So this is amazing. So one of the things regarding when we start working with sexual energy is that you allow the sexual energy to guide you. So normally it's like we have an idea how it looks like to have sex and how we should sound and everything. And but once you start allowing once you stop controlling the sexual energy and let her move how she wants to move, you will find that you'll be doing weird things. Okay. So I very often laugh. Like like for me, it's like contractions in my body, and I start laughing. That's energy moving. You may want to scream. There was a few times when I just felt like I had some anger with my former partner, and I was just like, and when we were having sex, like, I just want to fucking beat you and everything and yell at you. That can come up, right? So you may be like the tongue, that's Kali, that's one of the goddesses. It's the energy of ending things, destruction time, and everything. Like, you may feel that. So sometimes you may just want to be like, oh, all of this, right? So it's like it's an interesting lesson of not being so self-conscious, or maybe actually more self-conscious, meaning allow the true nature of us just to come out through the body. But absolutely, this is something that, when we start doing it for the first time and you're with a partner, and it may absolutely feel uncomfortable because suddenly you want to make different sounds and movements and everything that don't look the way sex should look. And so you may feel really uncomfortable. You may feel very uncomfortable with your partner. So it's always good to kind of speak to your partner that, hey, it's just my freedom. I'm expressing myself. I'm enjoying myself. It's all good. Or when you're by yourself, you can practice this by yourself and build this acceptance towards all of these interesting expressions, and then share it with a partner. Okay. Woo. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. So this is literally the breath, the sound, and the movement. And this is really the core. This is the core. And then you get to do different practices with the sound, like specific sounds on each chakra. You can do different, like I said, different types of breath, different movements. There will be specific movements, bandhas, contractions, but basically it all really comes down to these 3 elements. And I hope that what you experience is that it's so simple, right? Everyone can breathe, everyone can make some sounds, everyone can move the body. And this is all you need. And literally just take this technique, and if you practice this regularly, you're going to really experience difference in your intimate life. So, you know, I mean, of course, like with everything, you gotta practice this. We gotta like integrate it in the body. But when it becomes natural, you'll notice that when you start feeling aroused, the arousal will move out of the genitals, that you won't even have to be moving in yourself. It will start moving through the body. You will feel this tingling sensation everywhere in your body. You will feel this heart opening because the energy will go here. Like you will feel the energy floating through you. And this, when you get to like last longer, keep your erection longer, be more in tune with your partner, and open to the full body orgasm as well. And so that's why I said, like, everyone is tantric by nature. It's just about remembering what sexuality really is. And it's a flow of life. It's literally allowing life to flow through you. And so that takes me to something I mentioned at the very beginning, which is like, why on earth is a woman even teaching this? Like, because I get asked this often, like, what do I know about non-ejaculation, having a penis? In this lifetime, probably not so much. But here's the thing, what I just showed you guys, this is female sexuality. Like for those of you who have ever made love to a woman who is sexually open, you'll be like, that's how women usually are in sex. Now, if a woman is contracted and has her own shame, and most of women do, you won't feel it. But when a woman has done enough work on herself to open herself up, she is naturally like this. So this is why, exactly like one of you mentioned at the beginning, traditionally in Tantra, these were women, tantrikas, daikinis, who would initiate men into these arts, because all I need to do is be in my energy and offer you transmission. Right? It's like, it's literally, I do these exercises with you, right? It's like, I move my body. Whether you're aware of it or not, I'm sending you my energy. Your body looks at mine and it copies this. Oh, my energy moves like this. Awesome. So I also mentioned, you know, at some point today that while Tantra is not about orgies, there's also like, there's a reason why you would be engaging in group rituals. One of the reasons, for example, is like, if you want to open your sexuality more, you can invite into your bedroom other people who are very open, because their openness will open your body. So this element of transmission is actually the foundation of all spiritual and energy teachings, and really any teachings. Like if you guys have any mentor in your life, you know what it's like. It's not just the things that they say, it's the energy they project. And because for a man to step fully into his sexuality and have full body orgasm, you're actually moving towards a female expression of sexuality. Now, bear in mind, you have like feminine and masculine energies in you. So it's not that you like start being like a woman. You basically, from just having a masculine expression of your sexuality, you start moving into the feminine. So in the fullest, a man starts with the masculine expression, which is pushing and thrusting and ejaculation, and then you gather this energy and you allow the feminine flow to take it and open you to a full body orgasm. And so this is exactly why women teach this. Now, there's of course benefits in being led by a man that I, you know, as a woman, we don't get to fully understand it. So there's a magic working with a man and a magic working with a woman, and just get a different transmission. But there's this incredible beauty that you get to receive when it's the feminine inviting you into that space. And for any one of you who is currently with a woman, you probably feel this, like how much her feminine just invites you, like pulls you into your depth, into the depth of your heart and your body and your sexuality. So that is the gift of the feminine. And exactly this is why I teach this, in case you had any questions regarding that. Okay, so I'm curious, do you guys have any questions regarding everything we've done so far? And I know we're over time, I'm sorry. We have about maybe 10 minutes still to go. I hope that's okay for you guys. Okay, someone is asking me, since Bali is closed for travel, do I know anyone in Goa who's conducting such a course? Quite frankly, I do not know anyone currently in India who will teach this. No, but I do want to actually tell you guys a little bit, because I have an online course where I guide through these techniques. So Rishi, if this is something you may want to do, then just stay together here on the call and I'll speak about it. So then you can still do it online. But yeah, most of the people that I know, they're in Bali, they're in Thailand, in Sweden, yeah, somewhere there. But yeah, definitely the traveling is impacting our ability to offer this. Okay, any questions, any feedback, or any comments? Do you guys want to share anything? Could you feel with your body like some shifts, any resistance, any opening? Like, did your body feel like, oh, I got something new?
Yeah, sorry for the dark background. My light kind of goes in and out, but I literally felt my energy like buzzing through my body, and it was amazing. So, I was the one that told her like I wanted to stick my tongue out and just like yell, and being okay with that, and just being free and wild, and realizing there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes as a man, you know, we have all these expectations, and it's just embodying that in every sense, and being comfortable and loving yourself and accepting anything that comes your way, and being comfortable to embrace anything. And I just wanted to just be wild. So yeah, it was great.
I love it. Thank you. Yeah, sexuality is wild. Yeah, I remember seeing on a cup, it was the saying, like those mugs of text, and it was like, is sex dirty? Only if you do it right. And there is this aspect that, yes, if you let the sexuality to move, it's like sexuality is so many expressions, and it can be very gentle, it can be extremely devotional, it can be like immobile, and it can be super animalistic and break beds. There's all of these expressions, and like I said, we have different types and preferences, and the energy moves through us. So yeah, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, actually, to follow up, can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
I've actually been looking into like Taoism, and I've been looking into this for a while. And I've been working on like semen retention and moving my energy. And it's so funny. The other day, I had a conversation with this woman, and I could feel the dynamic between us two. Like it was just like we had a regular conversation, but the flow of energy was so beautiful, and I could just feel it. And I knew she felt the same way, but we didn't escalate it. Nothing happened, but it was just like that 2 minutes was just a beautiful flow of energy, which was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Like I have to say, it's sometimes amazing. Like but for specific reasons, like I mean, to me, penetration is extremely intimate, and with the work that I do, like I can take on so much energy. So I'm very mindful about that. But you can energetically engage with people, and again, you should be mindful because you do exchange energy. But like, it's just amazing. Like and by the way, this is where also like, people can take it a bit too far and then like, oh, just let's have sex with everyone because that's what tantra is and sexual freedom is, and it's not. But you can totally be with someone and just connect energetically over like a few minutes and have this amazing deep connection, and that's it. And you don't have to go deeper. So that's what I meant about intimacy. Like, this is true intimacy, and you get to share it with anyone. It's like the way you embrace someone, like you just relax into the hug and you stay in this hug for a bit longer than is comfortable for most people. That is true intimacy. Yeah, thank you for that. I want to answer, Will. I'm going to answer your question. So Will is asking me privately about yoni and lingam massage techniques. Can I teach something? I'm not going to teach anything on this call because we will just open something for the next few hours to go. So I teach lingam massage. I occasionally teach yoni massage, but I do these things in person, one-on-one. Seeing how we are still in a freaking lockdown and traveling is limited, I also started to do certain sessions online, like guiding people online, which of course is a different experience, but you can still get a lot done, like with demonstrations and everything. But if anyone is interested in that, I would say just please contact me personally and we can speak more how we could potentially arrange this, because it is a bit tricky. This is something that really should be taught in person. And do I know anyone in KL who does this? I do know people in KL, but I also have to be honest, I know people who work with like intimacy for women. I do not know actually any woman like me who does the exact teaching that I do, meaning like more into sexuality. Yeah, like I said, I know one now is in Amsterdam, one is in Bali, just got here to Bali, but in KL, I honestly don't know anyone who offers that. So I'm sorry. I am planning to be in KL if they ever open the borders, because I do usually visit, but it may be the second half of the year, assuming things will, freaking calm down. So thank you for your question. Any more questions or any more sharing? If anyone would like to say something?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting how each of these techniques came together. And towards the end of the third technique, it was almost like a complete sexual experience. It wasn't just limited by the need for a partner or a need for, it was the full body experience within that. And to see this, there were some keys in what you said about this spiral motion, which really actually helped to unlock a lot. Like I can be very rigid at times, and unlocking that motion is actually what opened more of that energy, which there's a lot. So it's amazing to feel that.
Yeah, so I don't know if you remember, I mentioned at the beginning, one of like the benefits of this is that you feel sovereign in your sexuality, and that's exactly that. This is why you don't need a partner. Like people think that to practice tantra, like sexual tantra, that you need to be with someone, and it's not true. In fact, the core practice of tantra is actually done solo, because imagine now you want to breathe in a very specific way and you're with a partner and you're like, yeah, good luck trying to do it then. If you haven't practiced before, it's not easy. So we actually always first practice on our own. And you realize it's exactly this. It's like your feminine and masculine making love together. It's like your spirit with your body making love together. It's really, you have everything you need here. For me as a woman, I love, for example, visualizing that I'm making love to Shiva, like the Shiva energy penetrates me. And for men, visualize that you're penetrating Shakti. It's like, to me, that is like the expression that absolutely is like mind blowing. It takes me like higher than anything else. Like literally making love to God and the goddess. And so, yeah, it's exactly this. You realize that like, whew, like I can be fully satisfied. Like, and that's what I also mentioned, that you can be celibate, meaning you don't have to like sexually engage with someone else, but you do these practices. So you still work with your sexual energy. It's still activated. You're not suppressing it. We're not talking about celibacy like in church, right? And so, yeah, so it's just like full on body experience. And yeah, I think this is probably like the juiciest part of it all. So I'm so happy you felt it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it was actually surprising, and it was so surprising that it brought a fear almost, because it was like there was something missing to my equation. And so thank you.
Okay, that's awesome. Wow. Yeah, so look, that kind of takes me to another topic, which is usually a topic for women, which is the sexual healing. And this is another thing. It's like we assume that you need to have a sexual trauma to have like to need sexual healing, and it's not the case. Every person carries sexual trauma. It's enough that at some point someone pointed on your genitals, that said something bad, or that you got rejected by someone. It's like we carry so much trauma around the sexuality. And when we start going into these experiences deeper and deeper, what starts coming up is exactly this. Like when you're having tantric sex, meaning the experience is not just physical but energy, so you have the most powerful energy in your body. It starts moving. It steers things up. This is, by the way, why most women don't have vaginal orgasm, because before we can get there, we need to face our trauma, and it's usually extremely deep and powerful for us. Like it's not easy. It's horribly painful, so we need guidance. And for some men, it's also this, like before you open to a full body orgasm, there may be healing that your feminine needs, that your feminine was suppressed, your feminine didn't feel safe, either by someone external or by your own inner masculine, if you push your own feminine. So there is the space also for actually making our feminine feel safe and offer her healing so that she can fully blossom and open. Yeah. Okay, love. So I'm so sorry we went like like way over the time. I wanted to share with you something. If you guys do want to take all of this practice deeper. So like I said, just that practice that you have, if you continue this, but I mean regularly, okay? You gotta, and remember what I said at the beginning, you gotta show up, you gotta show up. So as long as you show up and you do this practice, you will really feel the difference. And I would say try to build it like to do 10, 15 minutes a day. Try to do it for a month, most of the days, and you will really feel the difference. But I want to say, like, yeah, like I mentioned, there's more specific techniques to help you with all these practices. So there's, you know, techniques for unlocking the throat beyond the sound. There's, you know, we have specific energy blockages in the body. A lot of them are in the heart. You know, we all got rejected and heartbroken at least once in our lives. So we all have lots of contraction in the heart. And so there's specific places in our body where we usually contract. And so that blocks the flow of the energy. You have energy channels like your spine, that's your main energy channel. And often there are blockages there as well. So then like you can learn to move the energy through your body, but if there's no free channel for the energy to flow, it's going to get suppressed. So throat, right, is one of them. The heart is one of them, but there's also like secondary common blockages we also need to remove so that you can really feel this energy go into the whole body. And then I mentioned the sex muscle, right? The specific techniques for the sex muscle, for your perineum and your genitals. Again, sound is one of the techniques you can do now, this deep sound, to strengthen it energetically. But there's also other techniques you can do to really help you increase the energy of your sex muscle and be more in control of that part of your body. And all of this is exactly all the techniques that allow you to develop mastery over your ejaculation. And as a second step, open you to full body orgasm. So I used to teach it like live, but now I kind of turn it into an online course so that anyone can go through this. And I actually teach these specific techniques. So these are tools, this is guidance, and it's my transmission, where we go through, there are 3 powerful energy practices that I teach you. And they work on activating your inner fire. So unlocking the inner fire and unlocking the heart and opening the spine channel, because that's basically where the energy goes. And there's additional secondary practice that help you move the energy, mental energy and physical practices as well. And so basically, like, you're getting all of these techniques. So we practice them together. It's 6 videos of 1 hour. And like I said, I teach you things, I explain the technique, and we do those techniques together. Okay, so like I said, the transmission is important, and I give you space to actually go through this. And so these are specific techniques for ejaculation control and full body orgasm. So what you experience today, it's like it's a very simple technique, the one we had today, but you can already see how powerful this can be. So just imagine if you went like with really advanced techniques and what it does. And like, and just so you know, like some of those techniques are really crazy. Like you can faint from some of those techniques. Like there's this one guy I was teaching this and he was like, holy shit, that's stronger than ayahuasca. So like your body has the natural ability to go into those states. But you have to, again, always combining these 3, the right breath technique, sounding, and the movement. And again, and this is just like all really works on opening your heart. So it's like, even if your goal is not to like control your ejaculation, like all of this has incredible impact on your heart. And so this training, this is the recording of the live sessions that I did. So it's home study course. You can do it whenever you want. I also understand, I don't know, like I know some of you are in beautiful places like Peru, so you probably have privacy, but I also know from experience what it's like when you're stuck home with your family and you don't always have the privacy that you need. So this way you get to choose when you do those techniques. So if you guys want to check it out, I'm gonna post a link in the chat. This is magdakay.com/mastery. And I'll send you guys a few emails later just to give you some more details. But there's a specific thing I have also, because like I said, I do wanna honor the fact that you guys showed up. I appreciate it. It's been one of my big intentions for myself during the lockdown is to really look at the quality of people I hang out with. And I really want to surround myself with people who show up for themselves, they're driven, ambitious, and also to get that inspiration transmission from you. So to honor this, I actually have two bonuses I wanted to offer. So the first one is for sexuality blueprint. So you guys have heard me already mention this. I talked about my sexuality type and why sometimes my sexual energy is extremely difficult to move and I can get sexually frustrated. It's because of my sexuality type. And like I mentioned, that Tantra doesn't necessarily mean slowing down and being all gentle. Like my natural sexual blueprint is, toss me, slap me, hit me, pull my hair and everything. And it's just as tantric. So people have different expressions. And for me, that specific piece of information, I think was one of the most important things that allowed me to open sexually. Because I would judge myself. I would be like, I must be really fucked up because I haven't met a lot of people. I do not see my type of sexuality in any movies. I'm like, what's wrong with me? But then once I learned it, I was like, oh, okay, this is why, because this is my predominant chakra. That's my astrological sign. That's my energy. Like if you guys are into like astrology and human design, it all really falls together. So it's pretty amazing. But it gives you so much acceptance for yourself, and it helps you understand your partner and what they like and what would work for them. So just to give you a little insight here, like I, for example, I'm not a huge fan of oral sex. Like I will not come from oral sex, but if you press on my perineum, I can come from that, right? So there's different things that will work on different people based on what sexuality type you are. And so that is the first bonus. So it's a 90-minute recording of a training that I recently did. And it's, again, teaching and a very freaking powerful transmission. It's really funny because when I was first doing this, and there was a guy who was a total opposite in his sexual expression from mine. And after I did the demonstration, he was like, holy shit, like I almost had an orgasm just being in your space. So that is the power of transmission, okay? And of course, it's kind of cool to like explore all of those types because it makes sex life a bit more interesting. So open yourself to understand what these expressions are. So that's the first thing I'm adding. And the second thing is, so I mentioned that the replay of this webinar is going to be open for 48 hours. And so until the time, there's one more thing I'm going to add. And this is 1 hour one-on-one with me. So this is a full-on coaching session that I offer personally. So I personally recommend that you first go through the online training to go do all the techniques and understand how it works in your body, and then use that session because then your body will be already more open. You'll know specifically what you want. But in any case, I'm giving you 1 hour of my time yeah, we're gonna go into whatever it is that you need to go into. But that is only available for as long as the replay is available. So for the next 48 hours. And I will say this, I do charge a lot for my work. So normally like a session with me, like if it was the one-time on session would be $500. So that's what it's worth. And that's what I'm adding here. And on top of this, there's a discount for the training. So I'm just gonna, let's just get it to as many people as possible. We do have no questions asked, lifetime long guarantee. If I don't rock your world, I get it. I'll be really sad if I don't rock your world, but if that's the case, you can always just message us and we'll get you the money back. That's all good. You know, this is about actually having the results and not about pushing anything if it's not where you are, if it's not what you want, if it doesn't work for you. Okay, so you have the link in the chat. And again, I will email you guys the details of this as well. So you can choose if you want to join or not. Before we go, I do want to do a closing ritual. So please stay with me for a few more minutes. But do you guys have any questions? Is there anything while you still have me here? Can I share the link again? Yes. Oh, I did send it to the wrong. Sorry, guys, my bad. I sent it to everyone, I think, in a waiting room. I don't know. Okay, let me just send it again. Let me know if you guys, can you guys see the link now? Can you see the link? Just give me the, okay, awesome. Thank you for bringing this up. Yes, okay, I did send it in the wrong place. Thank you for that. So do you guys have any questions before we officially close the space? Yes.
So I don't have access to PayPal here in Peru. Is there any other method of payment that we can get to you?
Yes, so first of all, I believe that if you don't have PayPal, you can still use the PayPal checkout and use your credit card. If that's not the case, we
Okay.
can also do a bank transfer. So just feel free to message me, and we're connected. So feel free just to message me privately, and I'll give you the details. Yeah. So we can use transfer
Thank you.
as well for that. Okay. Okay, bye, Will. If you have to go, I'll speak to you in half an hour. We have a session set up. Awesome. Okay. So just, I'm gonna give it one more minute if there's any more questions, and then I would just really love for you guys to join me for a very quick closing of the space. Okay.
Hey, just wanted to check, how do we, like, when do we plan for a one-on-one session? Do we have to take an appointment for the same?
No, so okay, so basically if you get the training, you're getting this as a free bonus, and you can use it whenever you want. I mean, maybe I should limit it. Let's say, like, I don't know, for the next 6 months, okay? That's the time you have to use this one-on-one with me, but you can book it later. You don't have to book it now. So you use it when you want to.
Okay, it's after the training.
Look, this is my recommendation, but it doesn't have to be. Like, if there's anything else that you would like to dive into, then we can do it tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow not, but we can do it next week.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's better because I've done few courses before with Natalia, and there's another lady, I'm forgetting the name. So I've done like 2 courses back to back for 14 days. So I just want to like talk about few things where I could review, and yeah, we could do that tomorrow if you have time.
Okay, so here's maybe a thing. So this is a special thing I'm adding for this online training. If you don't want to do online training, for example, but if you potentially want to work with me one-on-one, what I always do, so I don't ever work with anyone just like this. I always first need to talk to the person, tune into energetically, make sure the intentions are right, and then I actually get to assist you with what you want to achieve. So if that's the case, let me just share the link with you guys. What I would ask you to do is, so you can send a little application for a free consultation with me, okay? Sorry to everyone. So this is magda.k/apply, and you can fill up an application to have, it's like a discovery call, a free consultation. It's 1 hour, and we do dive pretty deep because, like, I want to see exactly what's happening in your heart and what it is that your body truly desires. But this is the conversation we use to see if you want to work with me or not one-on-one. So if this is more of your interest, then just use this link. If you don't want to take another online course because you've just done something now and you feel like you're done, or you can decide to still like purchase the course now while it has all of the bonuses, and just like do it maybe in a month's time. You know, give yourself some time before you start. And again, you have lifetime access to all of the content, so you don't have to start now, but you can use the one-on-one session with me already now if that's what you want. Okay, does it answer your question?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
And I think maybe you were also the one asking how do you get in touch with me one-on-one. So you all have received emails from me from info@magdak.com, so you can just always reply to that email. Awesome. Okay, so let's do the closing.
Perfect. Have a great one. Bye.
Thank you, Rishi. So let's do the closing together. So I want you to place your hands together in the Namaste Mudra and close your eyes. So close your eyes. And I first want you to feel the gratitude to the universe for arranging for this meeting, for organizing everything so that you're here, so that I am here, so we get to connect. Always conspiring for us. Even if we don't see the logic, everything happens exactly as it's meant to happen. So really expressing gratitude to these divine higher forces. Now I want you to open your eyes and look straight into your camera. And just with your eyes, I want you to express gratitude to each other. And now close your eyes again. Now I want you to bow down to your heart. And I want you to express gratitude to yourself. See, these teachings, they're not widely available, not just yet. And you have done something amazing in this life and in previous lives to be a vibrational match for that. So the fact that you're here right now, it's because you have done what it took to be here. So really appreciate yourself. If you, for example, heard of Tantra a few years ago, you're like, how do I explore this? And boom, look where you are right now. You just spent an hour and a half actually diving into those teachings. So congratulations. Okay, so now open your eyes again. And for anyone who's still with us, if your camera is not on, I would invite you to turn it on just for a moment. It's literally just like a 1-minute thing that we do to release each other energetically. And it would be very beautiful to be able to see you, to be able to release you energetically. For whoever can, if you guys can turn your camera on just for a little moment. Okay. So I want you for this one, I want you to repeat what I say and what I do, okay? Oh, by the way, sorry, unmute yourself. That's another thing. Please unmute yourself. Okay. Lovely. So once again, please repeat after me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
And I set you free.
And I set you
free.
And I set you. And now look at me and do the same thing that I'm doing. And if you want, you can shake your hands, you can blow them. Awesome, thank you. So I do this. This is something we do because we do want to disconnect energetically, because when we share spaces like this, they're actually very intimate. And it's rather healthy to be, again, a sovereign being and not stay connected to people from all around the world. So thank you so much for being here. Like I said, I really appreciate it. Have a beautiful day wherever you are. And I'll be sending you this recording shortly with the link to the training. And then if you guys have any questions, message me. You guys know where to find me. And thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm waiting here for all of you guys to go, so I'm still staying here. I'm not gonna end the call unless everyone goes. Unless
That's not good.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna leave. Nobody's gonna leave.
It's like that. It's gonna be another half an hour. Why are you guys are still here? Shri.
It's been lovely.
Thank you. I just want to answer to Shri. You're asking for the today's session link. It's going to come in the email, but you have to give me a couple of hours to render it and upload it. And the link for the full replay will be available today.
Your energy it's very contagious. It's and the smile and everything. Today's been a lovely session. Thanks a lot, Magda. It's I mean, when I started, because it was the morning for me, it's like it was 8:30 in the morning, so it's like I'm like in the bed and I'm like, okay, all right, it looks good, and it's been crazy, not crazy, but it's been very interesting. I had to log off for a few minutes, which I missed the third main important. The what you call the I'm sorry, what you call that? The third, can you just
like element, keys, foundation. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, maybe hopefully, I mean, I don't know, like for me online, I would love to be in Bali, and do it like in presence and yeah, because I think we as men, or as we need to nurture our body, as well as we got to be a giver and also a receiver. So I think that is what Tantra is all about. I think being a receiver as a giver, but at the same time, I think you got to be aligned with your body and your mind and your spirits and soul. So yeah, thanks a lot for this 1 hour of session, for sharing all your experience and your training and teachings. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'd love to get connected. So somehow, maybe I don't know. Somehow I don't feel the online training, but this was lovely. Like especially when you wake up in the morning and and you have the positive energy, flowing, so that is what I, looked up to. So I don't know, maybe do you have the morning trainings? Is like morning rituals? Because, I think the morning and the evening rituals is the key thing to, for me, I think. Yeah.
I know what you mean. I actually have one of the clients, and he literally, we're working together. It's like, I'm like a personal trainer for him. He's like, look, I know the techniques, but I just need someone to do them with me. So I do them. And that's literally what we do. We would meet like twice a week, just so we do the technique. So yeah, absolutely. Like if you need this in the morning, they're like, okay, on the call. It's like like a personal trainer just doing sessions online.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like even for me, like I know the power of these techniques, but it always takes extra motivation, willpower to actually do them. Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool. All right. Thank you. I guess I don't know. I might not leave because I want to stay. It looks like, because I'm like, literally, I'm like, I have the whole day from for me. I can stay on like forever. This today has been like.
No, let me go.
No, see, at least Sorry.
At some point, let me go. No, but okay, Julian, let's do like this. If you do want to, like, if you're interested, just like message me later, okay? And we'll see what we could potentially do, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Thank you.